Uh, Hello, hatchlings. I wanted to talk about a few things. I don't know if I'll get through everything. I don't know if I will remember everything. This is just kind of like an update to everything, I guess, and how things are going. Um, I wanted to talk about how I got actually before that, if you are like triggered by me talking about like female bodily productions and uh, blood and stuff like that, probably best not to watch this one, because I'm going to talk about it for a little bit, not too long, but just a little bit. So I'll start. So basically, for about 5 or 6 months now, since changing over my hormones to a different transdermal cream, basically what they call it, because they stopped making the other one, my period came back, and it came back in full force. Before taking hormones, I'd get it a month, it'd skip a month, and then I'd get it a month again, it'd skip the next month, and so on and so forth. Now having these new hormones, I get it every fortnight. And my doctor was just like, there's probably just a case of you not having enough testosterone in your body or too much estrogen. Got the results back from the blood test, the fasting blood test, and it said my estrogen levels were fine and that my testosterone levels were fine. There's literally nothing wrong with me whatsoever, and nothing to cause such severe bleeding either, especially every fortnight. This is a thing that can happen to people, usually within, the first 3 to 8 months, your period should stop. And for the first 3 months, it did, and now it's back in full force, and I don't like it. I really, really don't like it. I'm having a lot of problems kind of coping with that, because obviously I don't want that to be happening to me, but it is, and it's very, very consistent. Like, it's a week, and then I don't have it a week, and then that week I'll have it, and then the week after I won't have it, and then the week I'll have it, and then every fortnight, every freaking fortnight, it happens, and I hate it. I absolutely hate it. It's making me feel really crappy about myself, and particular things going on around me are kind of enforcing those thoughts, and I'm feeling worse about myself. So I'm gonna have to see a gynecologist. I wanted a hysterectomy anyway, because I'm so done with it, honestly. I don't want it. I don't need it. I don't want it. It can go. Somebody else can have it, just not me. It's not for me. So I have to go see a gynecologist. If you want a hysterectomy, as a heads up, you do need to see a gynecologist, at least here in Victoria and Australia, where I live. So I'm gonna have to book an appointment, and then I'll kind of go through my experience with that. I've been referred to a trans-friendly gynecologist. She sees trans men and is kind of educated in that. And Northside Clinic was the one that referred me to her. I'm still scared and apprehensive as hell, because I don't want to know that place exists ever, and I just have always avoided going to a gynecologist like the frickin' plague, which really, realistically, you shouldn't do because you do need to get checkups and, you know, like, make sure everything is healthy. I just can't deal with those parts, and I pretend that there's a black hole there and that it just doesn't exist. But for the day of the gynecologist, it will be alerted to me that they exist. I don't like anyone growing up in that area. I don't even like going up in that area. It's uncomfortable for me personally. It's very uncomfortable. I don't do much because it's uncomfortable and it makes me incredibly unwell. So that's not gonna be a fun experience for me at all. So maybe if I like relay it and say, you know, it's not as bad as how I originally thought, it might make things a little bit easier. But for right now, I'm just terrified as heck. And I'm hoping, I'm really, really hoping that I can get a hysterectomy like ASAP, because I hate it. I really hate it. I don't know. Just no. Another thing that's been happening recently, and I don't know if it's just my genetics, how I look, or if something else is going on for some reason. But at one stage I was passing, and I do kinda still pass, but for some reason I don't think it's as much as I was when I was maybe like 6 months on hormones. But maybe that's just the areas that I go to. People are responding a little differently. I try and dress masculine. I mean, I cut my hair super short. I try to deepen my voice a little lower, because I don't like my voice. My voice is still really high. People can still perceive it as very feminine, and I don't like that. And so quite a lot recently, I've been getting misgendered, and that's not like accidentally from family, that's just out in public, that's on the phone, out in public, and I'm not a fan of it, honestly. There's one particular situation where I can't tell if I was outed, and now that person just refuses to call me he, because for a time period I thought they called me he, and then all of a sudden it changed from he to she. So I don't know if I've been outed by someone or whatever, and they just refuse to change pronouns to my preferred. But yeah, it kind of sucks. It kind of makes me feel worse about myself, because my dysphoria has been really bad lately, just because I've been constantly getting my period. I feel like my features are more feminine. I feel like my hormones haven't been working properly. I still haven't got my Adam's apple, even though it's like here. You can see it if I swallow, but you can't really see it. My facial hair is just not that great. I want facial hair, but I have to shave for work, and the shaving now is driving me crazy, because I just want a beard as something to affirm my gender, but that's just not gonna happen. I have really shoddy sideburns. It's the best I can do. They're pretty blonde. It's gonna happen when you have red hair. Yay. But it just, things have just kind of been sucking lately. And then sometimes my family will misgender me, or they'll come out to new people with my old name and pronouns, and there's kind of no reason to confuse people like that. I don't know if it's just because my family is still trying to come to terms or grips with it. I mean, I have talked about how it makes me feel when they say, oh, maybe we'll use he and him when you look more like a man, and it's like, I've been a year and a half on hormones and I don't look like a man. Okay. So that sucks. My family pretty slow to these sorts of things, which is fine. They've grown up, seeing me as something different, so I understand that it's going to be difficult changing things. My younger cousins have just kind of adopted my new name and pronouns very, very quickly, which is nice that they have. I just was hoping that by now my family would be able to use my name and my pronouns, but that it's looking like it's something that may never actually happen. And I know things take time to get used to them, and I keep trying to correct them and be patient and wait and hope that they change, but I don't know if that's really gonna happen realistically. I guess my immediate family cousins have been pretty good about it, which is nice. I'm hoping that they come around, but who knows, really. I may just never look masculine enough or sound masculine enough. I have to wait a rather long time for the consultation. I know it's only in April, but my fear is that I'm gonna have to wait like a year, 2, 3, 4 years for surgery, just for top surgery. So I'm hoping that maybe I can just fit in the hysterectomy before then, if they're not as busy. But when things are specialized, they get pretty busy and pretty expensive. It happens. Doesn't make it fair, but it happens. I went and saw some other family that I hadn't seen since I was maybe like 19, and I don't really know how they feel about me. I kind of got the impression that they were weirded out by me and were really uncomfortable being around me and talking to me. So I kind of just sat by myself and held on to Scamper. The ones who I saw more regularly talked to me and stuff, but I just kind of felt like I wasn't really included. I wasn't really even before then, but I was kind of included just a bit more, and I wasn't talked to with weird reactions like that. So I don't know if they just don't know how to approach it or approach me, or if they don't agree with it, or if I'm just like a plague or something. Uh, I don't blame them really if that's how they feel. I mean, I have a lot of problems, so I don't really view myself in the best light. But I have been a little bit better since transitioning and masculinizing myself a bit more. I thought, at least, even though I sound like a 14-year-old boy, at least I sound like the gender I identify as, and at least I look like the gender I identify as. But because I am being misgendered a lot, it kind of flips me out a little bit, and I wonder if I'm doing something that is like sending warning, alarm, alarm, this person is trans. um I don't know, but I just kind of want to look like how I feel, which is a man, but be seen as how I feel. But it might only ever be my friends who see me that way, just because they're a bit more understanding, I guess, about all of this stuff. They've been a bit more validating about it all. I mean, it would be nice to have validation in the family, but I kind of might just always be that person who is the black sheep of the family, who kind of isn't really wanted, who has way too many problems to really be included in anything, which is fine, and I get that I'm a complete weirdo. I'm not exactly normal. I mean, I wish I was, but yeah, you know, things that you wish for aren't exactly gonna happen and come true. Which, that's life. Am I right? Yeah. I don't know, it's kind of been plaguing me a bit, but you do what you do, I guess. If it's just gonna be me at the end of the day, then it's just me and my friends. The ones that want to actually be around me for me, who don't see me as some abomination. Who knows? Who knows what could happen in the future? Maybe one day when I do get surgery, they might be a bit more open to it. I noticed other trans people, when they talked about their family weren't really changing their name or their pronouns until after the surgery. They just kind of completely did a 180. And then some of them that, the family just still didn't change. And they still kind of felt outcast and not really wanted in that space. And for right now, that's just kind of how I feel. Just I'm not really wanted, but they have to include me because I'm a family, and I don't know how I really feel about being in a space where I'm not really wanted. Um, it's not really enjoyable. You just kind of sit by yourself while everyone else does their own thing. You kind of wonder why you were invited or included in the first place. I don't even think I was really invited. Just kind of your family, I should probably invite you kind of deal. I don't know. I just kind of, especially recently, it's just kind of been affecting my dysphoria and my depression, just kind of all this stuff. I look in the mirror and I think, my face hasn't really changed too much, and I guess there are parts of me that I still see, that old face, and I'm like, I haven't really changed, I haven't really gotten more masculine, and my friends tell me otherwise, but sometimes I feel like they're just saying that to be nice, they're just saying that to make me feel better or something, which may not be the case, but I don't know, I feel like they're just kind of saying it. That might just be me. I don't know. I just kind of been feeling down a bit. Which is gonna happen. I think if things aren't moving as fast as you'd like them to, it can get to you. So I'm just kind of hoping that the end goal is, in my head, it's realistic, probably look something like my dad or something. But my genes might fail me. But hopefully they don't. I don't know, I've been, like I said, on hormones for a year and a half, and it's not good to compare. It definitely isn't good to compare, but I look at everyone else who's been on hormones for a year and a half, and some not even that time, and already, voices deeper than mine, and their face shape so much more masculine, and I just kind of wonder what happened to me. I keep, in the back of my head, there's just this nagging feeling of your hormones aren't a high enough dose. But I am trusting my doctors, because, they do this a lot. They're used to, dealing with this kind of stuff, so I'm putting my faith in my doctors, even though I feel like I'm probably not getting the correct dose. It is very, very low. Very low. But I'm trusting them that that's bringing me up to the correct levels, and just hope and pray that I actually get changes. I know after a while, it takes a while for after a year, the changes happen a lot more slower, and you only maybe get like one change a year or something. I just would have thought I'd at least have gotten my Adam's apple by a year and a half. But that didn't happen. I thought, maybe my voice will finally be a bit lower, and that, but that didn't happen. So now I'm like, maybe 5 years, it'll be low, and I'll have my Adam's apple come through. But there is also that possibility that may not happen. And I'd kind of like it to happen, but you kind of get the cards that you've been dealt. Genetic wise. I also think maybe because I'm a lot older, that it takes even longer to change and transition, because your body has gone through and been through, the other hormones for a lot longer, so it's finding a bit harder, maybe. But I'm trying to be positive and not let it push me down, and hope that if I keep exercising, I'll look more masculine and whatnot. But who knows? I don't know. We gotta see. Just it been affecting me. I'm hoping that I can get my surgery sooner than the next 2 or 3 years. But if I have to wait, I have to wait. Same as everyone else. They've been waiting for a long time, so I gotta do the same thing, because that's fair. I don't know. It's been a lot. Definitely been a lot. Which it's alright. I think I just have to get through things one at a time, just kind of a little bit slowly. Try not to push myself too hard or bring myself down too much, and try not to compare myself to other people. Understand that things take time and they move a lot slower. So I just have to be patient. And who knows? It's yeah. I don't know. Been intense, but it happens. Sorry, I'm just freaking crying. I don't know, maybe that shows just I just kind of really want to be seen as a man, but who knows what happened. I'm probably very androgynous looking. I don't know. You just always have those thoughts of maybe I don't dress masculine enough, maybe I don't talk masculine enough, but that's not being true to myself. If I try and do things just to, impress other people, the whole point of transitioning was to make myself happy, not the people around me, and to be seen as how I see myself. So I'm doing the part to make myself happy and just hope that the rest follows. Who knows? I just I feel really bad for my girlfriend. I feel pretty shitty about it all. But I feel really bad for my girlfriend because I've kind of dragged her into something that she didn't need or have to be dragged into. There are gonna be people that see her very differently once they have that information about me, and they may not see her in the best light, and that's not fair to drag her into this. It's not fair for her to have to deal with something that she wouldn't have initially dealt with. She's a cis straight woman who only dates men, but some people are gonna view that very differently, and that's gonna be something that's gonna be really hard for her. And I really feel bad for her because I don't want her to have to go through that. But I guess that's something that's going to happen whether I want it to or not. People are going to be like that. People can be pretty nasty sometimes. But here was my update, and I'm hoping that I get a lot more done this year in 2019, and I'm able to at least get something done to move things forward, that my voice does get deeper, and I get that Adam's apple, that I get facial hair that isn't freaking patchy and blonde some areas and black some other areas and brown in other areas. Thanks, Dad. Giving me multicolor hair genes. It makes my beard look like it's freaking patchy when maybe it's like a blonde bit. Cards have been dealt. Well, thanks for listening to me ramble my update. I don't want to go into further about what happened 2018 or anything else like that. I'm just gonna kind of keep it to this and that be it. Because there is other reasons that I'm on a low, but I will get over it, and that's fine. But hopefully you have a bit more success in your transition, and a bit more success with your family in your transition if you are transitioning, or if you're just kind of curious about things. These are some of the things that people have to face. At least this is what I'm having to face, and it is hard, and it probably seems like a silly thing, but it's hard. it is pretty difficult, and it's not the easiest choice to make either. But I just keep hoping that one day I'll actually pass, and one day I'll be that person that I see myself as. One day. Might be 5-10 years from now. I just gotta be patient. I gotta be patient. Well, yeah. Thanks for listening. Alright. Bye.